And here we are. Happy Friday to you and to yours and to the possessions that you own on your Friday night. What a wonderful evening this will be. What an occasion it will be. Not just a Friday, it's an occasion, Pezza. Pezza, talk to me. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. Watching you camera switch as well. You're like a one-man Xavier Rudd.
I prefer
as
John
opposed
Butler.
to the multi-man Xavier
And now I'm just going to
Rudd.
all black screen. I've had enough of this. I've had enough.
It's going to be a good stream.
Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. We're watching Jimmy Anderson's last ever test match.
Wow,
Isn't
that's
that
how we're
exciting?
setting it up? That's how we're setting
Isn't
it
that
up?
exciting?
That's a huge call. It's not something I want to get involved in because I'll still be clenching my ass for the next 30 minutes, depending on how the deck is playing. So
I'm still
ass
watching
clenching for
Australian
me.
guys in jumpers against a maroon ball.
Yep.
Or maroon or morose.
Morose. Swinging morosely.
So I'm nervous. I'm nervous, generally speaking. But here's cheers, mate.
Mate, here's cheers.
Here's cheers.
And there it was. Yes,
And there it goes. That's how it was. That's how things were.
Here is cheers. When does the cheers happen? Sort of things that go through my head.
I think the Vikings actually invented the cheers.
Really?
Something to think about.
That was
yeah.
my second son's first word.
Viking.
No, invented. All right, it's flat. Quaj is making 150.
runs, Daddy. So when they I'll just go back to this is gonna be a tough day. But he goes,
Charlie's not here tonight,
Yeah.
or we're already in decline.
yeah, Charlie's already had his last day at work for TGC. It's actually his birthday.
Yeah, happy
but
birthday, Charlie. Yeah.
Hell of a way for him to find out that he's fired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Send him a text at 11 a.m. and I said, how do you feel about helping out with the live stream tonight at coming at about 7:30 p.m.? And he said, I'm sorry, I've got a birthday dinner. It's my birthday dinner tonight. I was like, oh, that's very interesting that you've chosen with only a couple of hours notice to prioritise your own birthday over switching a couple of cameras for blokes drinking beers.
I don't think you understand the opportunity
in a
you've
sort
just
of
been provided.
semi-employment situation. Very interesting decision, Charlie. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
okay.
Anyway, happy birthday.
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Happy
from him.
15th birthday.
Look,
I'll be back making iPhones in the factory by night's end.
I watched an 8-minute Apple ad today. Anyway.
Any good?
Yeah, well, it was good. It was annoying. It was annoyingly good, just in terms of storylines and storytelling devices.
What was the name of the guy who made the video of for Coney? Was it Coney 20? Coney 20?
It was
2010?
yeah, it was around that time. No,
Yeah, it was like Coney
around that
2012,
time.
and then that guy
Yeah.
ended up being found out for public masturbation.
Yeah,
he
he
ended up
was
being
on-
found out about public masturbation.
It was that guy started kind of viral video online, didn't
Yeah.
he?
It was a great.
Let's find Joseph
that was half an
Coney.
hour.
Yeah. It was good though.
Let's find JK. That was a good ball.
And Anderson's just nibbled
Just
on
nibbled
past,
it. Just nibbled
Uzi.
it. Okay.
Very
In his
interesting.
last ever test match.
He'll be 6 for 45 at lunch.
Yeah.
Look, I know that the viewers want this, so just a little flash scores around the ground if you are interested in other content. Carlton and Collingwood do battle tonight, just up the road at the MCG.
You might be able to hear the siren.
Collingwood go in heavy favourites. They're top of the table. In fact, all the journos have tipped Collingwood, and we know journos know everything. Carlton placed ninth. Interestingly for Carlton, Patrick Cripps is back for them as they play for the Peter Mac Cup.
Cripper.
And don't make fun of Peter Mac. That's literally a cancer centre. Now, the second game is Parramatta versus Melbourne Storm. Not too much to say there, other than Melbourne Storm riding along nicely in the 4 there. Parra trying to slide their way up the ladder. Slippery little suckers they are. In the earlier game, the Bunnies accounted for the Tigers 32-18. The Tigers looked good for a little bit before the Bunnies went away. Lionesses are up 1-0. Higgos over Denmark.
Okay.
A goal to Lauren. Someone earlier, Lauren James on 7 minutes.
It wasn't Lauren Bell, was it? The opening bowler for the England cricket team.
No, or Laura Bell, who was a year below me at school. Hello, Laura, if you're watching. Very talented musician. She was. Laura was a very talented, and still is. I think she's still in music, Laura.
Okay.
I do remember at high school, she, in the assembly in front of the school, in year 10, she stood in front of assembly and she's so good at music, she actually got 2 recorders and played them at the same time to a school of mainly boys.
I remember in an assembly, a guy that was in my year was going through this part isn't funny. He was going through cancer treatment at the time. And at the school that I went to, for assembly, you weren't allowed to wear any sort of hats because obviously like it was a uniform and, that kind of gear. And the principal saw a kid in the assembly of what must have been, I guess like 2,000 people at the school, I guess at the time.
Give or take.
Give or take.
You're fucking focusing on yourself.
Well, this is what I'm about to say is very important.
Yeah.
So like 2,000 kids in the assembly, headmaster standing up doing his headmaster address.
Yeah.
He was wearing a dress, which was sort of sign of the times to come. So it was actually Harry Styles.
Kicking off with Woody here.
Mark Wood's stemming in here. Anyway, so then the headmaster sees this kid in my year wearing a hat, and he's like, "Excuse me, he's like, can you just take your hat off?" And he was actually just going through cancer treatment. So those are sort of the fond memories that I remember from school days. Let us know in the comments if you've also got some fond memories from school days.
So, yeah, the Lioness is up 1-0. It was on 62 minutes, and Kira Walsh unfortunately stretched it off in the first half. We wish her well. And then finally here we have the men's Ashes, Australia versus England. He goes, I'm going to make the case to you as we set up this session that this is the most pivotal night in Australian Test cricket this century. This is the most pivotal night in Australian Test cricket this century as Australia stands to do something that none of their predecessors have been able to do this century, apart from 2001. In 5 times at trying, Australia's 2-1 up in the Ashes. Mm-hmm. They have somehow weathered and been the beneficiaries of a storm in Old Trafford, but also yesterday.
The Melbourne Storm?
Yes, and the Melbourne Storm's
against Parramatta tonight.
The Melbourne Storm's efforts to also... Anyway, and
breach the salary cap.
Yes, and ply Australia with performance-enhancing drugs. And Australia's 2-1 up. They've managed to bowl England out for 280, and they ahead of them is.
Well, that's quick. That's quick from Wood.
A day two oval wicket with Australia 9 wickets in hand. England on the ropes. Tired. Broad and Anderson are 100 years old. Mark Wood has a couple of spells in him if he can get through it. Mm-hmm. They are Moeen Ali less now, led by Joe Root's finger spin. It is the best chance Australia has had to drive a fucking stake into these coats.
And that's why we decided to jump on for a live stream, because we know it's not going to happen.
Exactly. we want to commentate the carnage.
This first spell from Wood's going to be quick. That last ball was 150 Ks. Oh, that's well, Bob.
And Bairstow,
just outside off, that's 145, clicks 90 mph.
Bairstow takes around the shin. Australia has to get through this, as Daniel Bedingfield said. Didn't he?
Yeah.
I've got to get through this.
I've got to get through this.
I've got to get through this.
I've got
to make it through this.
Yeah.
He actually had a stutter. He was honouring his stutter.
He was actually the opening bat for Petersham. And
in threes there, wasn't it?
It was at 3. He was at threes. They played at Petersham, which they used to call the toilet bowl.
Yep.
Or just simply the toilet.
Yep.
So Bradman played his early cricket there at Petersham Oval. There's actually a plaque at Petersham Oval acknowledging Bradman's present there. But now they call it the toilet.
And Bradman Best played junior rugby league there as well for the Knights.
That's actually what I thought was originally for.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Daniel Bedingfield, when he wrote the song "Got to Get Through This," he was playing for Petersham threes, and they had a game against Bankstown.
Yeah.
And they at that stage they had a quite a strong twos.
Oh,
team.
was Brent Turner playing for?
Well, he was in
the
twos
Banky
side.
boys.
He was playing twos at the time.
Yeah,
which
he was quick. He was quick enough.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And so
he wasn't quick. He was quick enough.
He was quick enough. Is he quick?
Yeah,
quick enough.
Enough. Yeah. So I'm not going to give you the honor of being actually quick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you have reached a certain level where you may or may not be able to achieve, wickets.
Some of my previous girlfriends have said that about me when they're talking over brunch.
Am I quick?
Yeah. No, just when talking over brunch with their compatriots.
Yeah. Oh, they're
not
friends?
Just friends, not compatriots.
Yeah, they have to be from the same country.
Was he quick? Quick enough?
Yeah. Mate, he's rapid. He's quick enough. Mate. How's it going with Ian? Is he Wheels?
You talking about Ian Wheeler there?
Wheels over there. Oh, he's fantastic.
He's working for Twitter.
No, mate, he's absolute Wheels. He goes.
So that kind of we should get the score up, shouldn't we? Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah. People want to know the score.
People want to know what the score is.
What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Let's all wait. Australia yet to score a run in this first session.
That does
2 overs in.
That does.
So that's very concerning. Anderson freshly shaven. That face looks. I suppose he needs to look young, doesn't he?
A slight tick that, like, every time he bowls, he corrects his hair every single time. It's like at the same part of his walking back to his mark. Now, what I've noticed about that is that I've actually announced that I've got a problem with that. Rather than Anderson. Anderson's just like, he wants to look good because he's playing international cricket. He's playing in front of millions of people watching this game.
I love how they got all those dots up along the bottom there, just to contrast with England, who had 15 balls in a row of scoring shots yesterday at around the same time.
That's right.
A series of real contrasts, isn't it?
Isn't it sort of like tortoise and the hare sort of stuff?
The styles just couldn't be more contrasting. That's why it's been such a great series.
Daryl hair.
Well, these cunts are like... this is, all the 05 talk stopped. I don't know why, but... All these people are like, oh, geez, it's really comparable to 2005. I was looking up 2005 the other day, just the year, just in terms of who won the Mercury Music Prize and that kind of thing. Yeah. And
well bowled.
One of the letters to the editor in The Guardian in 2005 was about whether or not he should go into work because the Prime Minister of England had encouraged people to stay home, despite the fact that it would cost the British economy £300 million per hour. Because the economic benefit of staying home and watching the cricket was the moral boost that it was going to provide the nation would actually outweigh people not working economically. And I'm like, I reckon 2005 was a bigger series than this stuff. I mean, 2005 was so good, they sold it to Sky.
Yeah,
they really sold it at the peak.
Yeah.
Sky's been fantastic for cricket. I mean,
it's a shame
you've got to say that. I mean,
it's a shame they didn't hold up for Saudi Arabia come in a few years later.
Sell at its peak.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Anyway, wouldn't mind a run.
So to answer your question, is this the biggest night in Australian cricket history, Test cricket history, this century? When I think about 2001, I remember 2001. I remember watching the Oval Test match because Steve Waugh got 100, didn't he?
He was injured.
He popped his Achilles. But like at that time, because Australia went through this period through the 90s when we were kids.
What happened then?
Well, Australia never lost a game. They only lost dead rubbers. So they lost games, but they only lost dead rubbers. But so I was so spoiled at that time. I was like, well, Australia's just going to keep winning forever.
I totally agree.
England will remain being terrible. So 2001 does not count.
I totally agree.
And that's what I said about 9/11.
Yes, because they keep winning.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Yeah, it was a dead rubber.
I'm not really sure what that means. But yeah, so then... So then 05.
This is the closest they've been to Everest.
05, I was not interested in the series until maybe the last Test match, and probably like day 4 of the last Test match, I was like, Australia might lose this.
Yeah,
but I was expecting Australia to win every because the first Test match of that series was Lords. Australia bowled England out for 100 or something. McGrath took fucking heaps. They won by an innings or something like that, or they won by a lot, 10 wickets maybe. And I was like, yeah, look. I hadn't even been aware of the hype at that point. I wasn't really aware of the hype of that series. So obviously it was enormous for England because they had this coming team of like they were second in the world at that point. First time they'd been second in the world for a long time.
Yeah.
Australia won the greatest teams ever at that point, obviously. But that series ended up being really weird, like because Australia lost an ODI game to Bangladesh. Andrew Syme was like throwing up in a bin before the game.
There was some concerning signs.
Yeah.
But they really weren't in Australia at the time. It was like, they're just going to win.
Yeah.
I had a fantastic time with the 05 series. I was 20 years old, and I was still living at home, and my mum had decked out a room like a really nice, like she'd actually converted the garage. I was very lucky, and carpeted it and things, and I was at university, and I had several nights with like 2 of my closest friends who'd come over to my place to have many beers and occasionally joints, and just watch Australia try and claw their way back into the series. And usually, it was just being kind of stoned, watching Shane Warne do it by himself, which at 20 years old is pretty good. That's a nice time. It's a really nice time.
When you think about that series, Oh, that is very quick from. This is a fiery spell. Australia, Daniel Bedingfield all over this. He's got to get through this. Much like Daniel Bedingfield playing for threes against Petersham in that time against.
What would England do? They just walk it in, wouldn't they?
Of course they would.
Just walk and slap.
So in that 05 series, because Ponting had played a pretty decent series as well, from memory. I mean, obviously he made like
Ponting's average against England home and away will surprise you.
Yeah, it's not that good. But so's Anderson's record against Australia. Anderson averages 35 against Australia.
Yeah.
For a guy who averages 26 and has done it all around the world.
Well, he's the best bowler in the history of the game.
That's also why Australians just rate Broad. Well, no, sorry, I'm talking for all Australians here. I'm just so much more fearful of Broad because I've just seen Broad do it way more times. I've never really seen Anderson. Anderson's always been good. I'm not saying he's bad in any way, but Broad fucking destroys you. Anderson's just consistent, you know. Broad is just genuine match winner shit, as we see Marnus sanding his bat on the screen here.
I mean, I just think Anderson is underserved by people saying he's the greatest ever. He doesn't need that. He's a great. Yep. And he's arguably the greatest swing bowler of all time. He's had heaps of good times. You know. The guy's 41 having a crack. It's pretty good.
For me, Manoj Prabhakar.
Yeah, good player, Manoj Prabhakar. Now we had a super chat come in, and I don't know where it's gone.
Wood's buying some serious wheels here to Marnus.
Thank you for the
Australia hasn't scored a run this session yet.
I just got to find it here. Here we go. Tom West. G'day, Tom.
G'day, Tom.
You can get your super chats in, ladies and gentlemen, anytime. That means you, if you want to ask a question that we definitely read out, you pay money. The other thing it does is it actually sets off an alert for the Australian Federal Police for you as a pedophile if you actually choose to do that. And this is actually going to be part of our pitch to investors. So in time, it's we can literally tell our audience that they're pedophiles and they will still pay to ask questions. And they'll be like, wow, that's a strong business. But seriously, ask your questions and don't worry about the pedophile stuff. That's just a tick.
And often
there's runs for Australia. Runs. You're not played a shot. Is it a dead ball? Is it a dead ball?
More runs.
Yay! He took evasive action. That's fine.
65 for 1.
It's the future of commentary. Now, Tom West asks, sure you have a West.
So fucking quick, man. Yeah. That's right at his armpit. Wood's buying fucking wheels here.
Well, they need poles here, and I'm not talking in the 1939 sense.
Yeah. Are you talking about bringing some immigrants over to do some roofing?
Yeah. I'm not talking about one of the inspirations for Brexit to stop that happening. I'm talking about another colloquialism for wickets in cricket.
My mistake.
They need poles to come over and get into some skilled labour.
Are you talking about Lewis Hamilton 2017 on the grid? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about I'm with my family at a ski field and I've got my skis, but I don't have my poles yet. We used to call them stocks. But then that got mixed up with, Apple shares. And
of course.
Now, Tom West writes in, I'm trying to get to this question. Why? Patreon listening in, who works in pro baseball stateside, brackets, part of your huge US market. That is true. Hoping to rub in an Australian win to my cricket-loving English girlfriend. Also, Cowboys to make the 8. He was referring to the Dallas Cowboys there.
I presume so. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I've scored no runs. Marnus needs a new stick. Oh, so yeah, it's Jimmy from one end, Markwood from the other. I tell you what, there's no freebies in Test cricket, really, is there? Except when Harry Brook bowls.
It's almost like when you're playing against a country, they just have the 4 best bowlers in the entire country bowling at all times.
That's exactly right. Which gives rise to the idea that the best first-class players don't necessarily make the best Test players, because at the end of the day, if you make Test cricket, you're facing the best bowlers that country can produce. You know, some guys are up for that, and some guys just like stroking around other coats at Junction Oval. Now, can we answer Tom's question? He's paid $9.99 for it. Yeah, I mean, an Australian win to his career. Look, Tom, I can't go there at the moment in terms of an Australian win. There's no part of me. I'm eyeing off the chance of Australia getting a foothold into this game because I've seen numbers that look the same like this before, but Australia has given me no reason to believe that they can actually get significantly ahead in this series at any time. And we must remember with this series, he goes, that when England does well, it's because England have played scintillating cricket, and when Australia does well, it's because England's played badly. That it's all about England.
Yeah, runs for Aussie.
But that was an English mistake.
That's a mistake. It was a bad ball. It's a bad ball.
Well, I can't go there yet, Tom. I'm very look. I've got a little fucking cartoonish twinkle in the eye because Australia are as good a chance as ever to win the Ashes right now in this situation right now, but the trend of the series means you can't proceed with any confidence, even though they're on a day 2 oval wicket.
Would you take? Sorry, I'll start again. 283 for England in the first innings.
Yeah.
Do you think that's overs?
No, you mean as in for what one should have made in the first innings,
Yes.
or just the game?
What one should have made in the first innings?
I think it's unders. I think
it's hard to tell because...
Of course. It's the nature of predictions.
Yeah, but I was talking to a psychic earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's moved a mile.
And she said, don't go to the airport on the 17th. Because
these crystals.
Australia bowled terribly in the first hour last night. Shot by Usman Khawaja down the ground. We'll get 2 for that because we all play for the Australian cricket team. I like my team to win.
I like to keep it objective, actually. I'm quite unbiased when it comes to these matters.
Sure. Yeah. I think Australia bowled like really poorly in the first hour yesterday. Dropped 5 catches. A couple of those were tough ones. Brooker's an obvious one where, like, dropped on 5, makes 85. So there's it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell how that balances out, obviously. But I feel like if Australia had bowled England out for 220, they're well in front of the game. 280, like England, they're just staying right in it. Like 280 is not a bad score ever in England first innings.
Yep.
IMI. So I think it's sort of hard to tell about where we're at with that.
Just looking at this poll, 22 minutes ago, I asked, what's the biggest fixture tonight?
Yeah.
Looking for Carlton, Collingwood, Melbourne Para, Lionesses, Denmark, or England, Australia, brackets, nonce cricket.
Yeah.
And England, Australia, nonce cricket's well in front on 55%. Next is Carlton, Collingwood.
That's so weird because people are watching a cricket watch-along.
Yeah. I've had enough of this.
Isn't that funny?
I've had enough of this Graham poll, end poll, Packham. Now,
what's this stat? Last 6 openers to face 1,000 balls in an Ashes series. Yes, he's beaten Cook.
All right. The last 6.
Well, no, sorry.
He's not beaten
He's
Cook,
actually
yeah.
just the most recent one. He's first one in 12 years.
To face 1,000, so.
Yeah, do you remember Vaughan opened the batting in Australia? Fuck, he was good that series in 02, 03.
He was good. A lone hand.
What I wouldn't give. What I wouldn't give for a lone hand.
Joshua Brownsy says, hello, Sport Boys are doing a live stream of the NRL. Can we do a news cross to check the score?
That would be
I was
good.
texting. I've had some WhatsApps with Tom today, actually. Yeah. We're trying to organise a podcast AGM in Melbourne. The boys are trying to get a few, like, make a trip of it down to Melbourne. But
right, okay.
we're looking at a long lunch scenario.
Oh, well, that sounds terrible.
Comparing notes, sort of what are you boys up to?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They're like, what are you boys up to?
And we'll say, well, you show your cards first, and then we'll...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Flip them.
Yeah. It's podcast,
show your cards.
It's pretty...
Show your cards. Flip them.
Who do you think you are? Yeah. I am! One of the all-time great pieces of cinema. That guy...
Charles just getting a bit old to wear an English jersey. Anyway...
I need to check. I didn't text Charlie back for his birthday.
Okay. You just send that.
So I'm going to do that right now.
Yep.
I'm going to say, mate, any chance you can pop in for the second hour?
Hey, Rishab, thanks for the contribution, brother. Appreciate it. Sandcarp writes in as well. You get 1 million followers, but both have to face wood without a helmet for 30 balls each. Would you take it? No. No, Sandcarp. Sandcarp, 1 million followers doesn't mean shit, brother. Like, it's good. Yeah, it's nice, but it's not worth risking your life. Sandcup, I want you to think about the meaning of, or the meaninglessness of numbers on the internet. Akash Chopra has 1 million followers. Okay. Play on.
The thing about Wood is, like, he shows you it all the way. So... you do get a good look at it, don't you?
30. Well, he's not making 30 balls anyways, but he's breaking down, isn't he?
Yeah.
With respect.
Yeah, and his 30th ball's waste. Like,
I can't
it's probably like 143 Ks an hour.
I wonder when the last time was he bowled a 5-over spell. Probably last game. So that's the first thing I'm saying out the side of my mouth, and then I'm declining the offer. And we might just get 1 million followers without having to face him.
Mate, I completely agree with you in that numbers sense of like 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously that's good. Obviously it's good.
I think viewers would be surprised.
And it opens doors for you.
But fewer than I think people would imagine. Oh, 1 million followers. The door's the door is being banged down.
You must have beach houses. How many beach houses do you have?
Yeah, it ain't like that. I tell you, there are more people in this game who run operations, I think, that have some kind of canny or corrupt business manager with maybe 1,000 listens to their podcast, who might turn over more money than a YouTuber with 500,000 subscribers who doesn't know how to get a sale done. The 500,000 million, that's like it's like having a big cock and not knowing what to do with it. Like it's all about what you do with it. What's the point of having a big cock if you don't know what to do with it? You have every weapon under the sun, and you don't know what to do. It's a lead a horse to water, can't make it drink. That's what 1 million followers or 500,000 followers is. I'd rather have 1,000 followers in cock terms, but I know what to do with it, or
he's good with it,
or someone knows what to do with it. Like a good business manager who's corrupt.
Like an internet speak, he's like, oh, he's nice with it.
Oh yeah,
he's nice with it.
I don't know that. Yeah, you're up with that kind of stuff, which is good.
I think that like people that show excessive wealth are often just like they're just loaning cars, they're loaning Lamborghinis out for the day, shooting a couple of videos for it. Look how fucking successful and cool I am. Look how successful and cool I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that good? And the answer is always the same. Yes.
Yes, it's very good. It looks awesome.
Very good.
Chicks dig it.
Yeah.
Do they say that these days? Dig?
Chicks dig it.
My brother-in-law.
You're harsh and my mellow.
Okay. That's another thing. That's gone straight over fucking Grandpa's head here.
I was talking about Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, I see. My brother-in-law is
Here we go.
a car guy.
Yeah.
Like he knows cars well.
He's cars guide.
Yeah. Yeah. He got sold to Sydney Morning Herald for squillions.
He got bought out.
No. He was named Cars Guide. My sister married Cars Guide. No, he's
Carl Sagan.
He's he's good with cars. He's good with cars, and he had like a classic. See, I don't know shit about cars. He had a classic automobile.
Four wheels, yeah, like sort of.
It was long.
And they had like
it was one of those. It was one of those fucking awesome classic cars, like head turner style. And he took me for a ride in it once, and in near Bondi Beach. I'm talking like 15 years ago, sort of Cronulla Riots kind of time. And
And did you reclaim the beach?
And I, for the first time, saw what kind of attention a good car got.
Okay, the chassis
with women. There was a lot of women paying attention to a good car. Now he's a good looking rooster, to be fair to him, so it might have just been him. He's kind of like
that's so weird.
Like
that's
Elvis.
So weird to me,
no, because I don't give a fuck about cars. I'm like, get me A to B, respect the engineering. I'm not getting sucked into any of this other bullshit, right? And I don't know what that was, but it's a tough session for Australia, and but there was a lot of head snapping. There was a lot of whiplash, a lot of rubbernecking, with women.
Women. Okay.
So something to think about.
That's so wild to me, man. Because I don't get cars. As in, like,
Yep.
I understand. I understand, like, from a like a sheer animalistic sense.
Sand comes back again. Sorry. Yeah.
With men to fix things and like the beauty of a car. So
you understand that?
I sort of understand that.
Okay.
Even though I don't.
I was reading an article today
I don't give
about
a fuck about cars, but like
gender studies around that, experiments.
Okay.
and Elon Musk, like others, like naming his baby X, because gender can be a construct. But we can come back to that.
Sure.
Anyway, but men fix things.
Yeah, but like the attraction from women to the car itself, that to me is foreign. I'm not sure, and that says more about me than it does anyone else. But I'm just saying, like, I can't quite compute it. And yeah, that's the end of that sentence.
Okay, Soundcub's gone again. He said, okay, you get 5 beach houses each for 30 balls.
No.
You don't understand, Soundcub, do you?
I don't think you understand how fast 150 Ks is.
Oh, that's a hell of a genre for me as well. Just like anytime a quick bowler is on YouTube or the internet, how many people underneath must be like, he's probably bowling sort of 65 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 150 Ks an hour without a helmet, being 38 years old and like, and a pretty ordinary player at my peak, that's a death wish.
I guess he's asking.
People would do it. Like people would do it.
I guess he's asking like what, because everyone's got a number.
Yeah. What's your number? 30 beach houses.
So what's your number? So what's your number to face 30 balls? And I'm getting pretty close to the no number is worth it, because I presume as well Mark Wood can bowl bouncers.
Oh, what would it take? Now we're getting let's expand it. Now it's into like the saving my children.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I want to. How nice was this car?
Okay. There's a couple others. It's quite difficult to find these. Joshua Hong. Hey, Josh. If I can call you that, you're down as Joshua, so I don't mean to presume intimacy. Evening, fellas. Can you smell?
Familiar.
Evening, fellas. Can you smell? That's a nice line from Anderson. He's challenging Kawaja there. Can you smell Mr. Loose Bus Change getting a ton this test? Here's a fiver for your streaming troubles. Love the work you two do. Can I smell it? What would it mean if I sat here and said, oh yeah, Marnus is tunning up today? I mean, what the fuck do I know? I'm in South Melbourne. I'm having a low alcohol beer. I've got a hoodie on. Like I've just raced here from lovely dinner with the family.
Must be nice.
Passed with some land. Yeah, I ate with my family earlier.
So
These guys are in Kennington. I can see fucking grey clouds. Anderson and Wood bowling.
wait,
Marnus is 3 runs off 39 deliveries. Can you smell a loose bus change 100, mate? Yeah. He's looking good. What the fuck would I know?
I want to set this up. So, got into the studio tonight, set up all the cameras, etc., and I've just fucking panic ordered just the dirtiest chicken burger you've ever seen in your entire life. I'm sitting on the edge of the sofa here. Pez is getting his notes set up. He's setting up the poles. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm just absolutely fucking my face with this burger. It's falling apart at the seams.
There's fucking Niagara Falls around him.
Just one of the most disgraceful. Like I felt like I was completely naked but wearing shoes.
You're leaning over, just ensuring that the fucking slop didn't get all over you.
Yeah, obviously about to broadcast in front of 13 people and just absolute piggery at a trough.
Yeah. You had me in the corner just commentating.
Yeah. Pez almost got the live stream going for me fucking my face with this burger. And then I said to Pezza with fucking bacon coming out of my mouth, it's like, Pezza, have you got food in the way? And he goes, no, I've already eaten tonight with my family.
I mean, some people might be like, I don't know why I felt like being a cunt about it.
Absolutely did me.
Yeah.
Did me.
There used to be more people in this team who talk like that. Anyway, Eli writes in, thanks, Eli. I want to taste the tears of English men. Yes, I guess we all do. I mean, I presume Eli means this metaphorically. Well, Eli, if Australia has, this is why it's such a pivotal day in the modern Australian men's Test cricket story, because I mean, people in England, let me know if this is wrong, but if you sort of surveyed people on what is the best ground and days to bat at in English cricket, I think you'll find quite a few people would say Oval day 2 and 3, pretty good chance you've got some good batting conditions. So Australia being 1 for 70, trailing by 200 odd, 9 wickets in the hutch, and looking like they might be making it through Wood and Anderson's first spell, albeit challenging. I don't know. I haven't looked at the weather. I don't know if it's going to be grey all day or whatever. But it's that we're having a look at Australia being a chance, but there's a big mountain to climb. I'm not going there yet. You can see that I am going there sort of in my mind, but I don't want to go there.
I want to talk about that notion that Eli's touched on with like English tiers and
and the brand of tiers.
Yeah. Like
we got our own brand.
I understand that notion generally speaking, but like with the thing overnight of Ponting doing his thing at the end of the day's play, and like someone's throwing a grape at him, like whatever. But like the
grapes, multiple.
The grape's not the point.
It's full, and Labuschagne gets it through,
and he'll get 2. That guy runs like Leach. Who is that? Is it Crawley? So
Sub.
I was just thinking about
is that Lawrence? It's Dan Lawrence.
That's Dan Lawrence. Yeah. I was just thinking about like the summer that England cricket has had, and I try to be like a little bit. Let's try to think like impartially, but like we had the same experience when talking about Australia playing against India, and you're broadcasting to a lot of Indian fans, and it's like organically, it's always posited as like us against you. You guys represent the country that you're from, therefore you're supporting that team. And like, yeah, of course, like I support the Australian cricket team because I want them to win. But like when I see stuff like what's going on with like India, like blatantly doctoring wickets because I can fucking see it with my eyes. Obviously you're not allowed to say that because like then I'm just cheerleading for my team to win. But then like, so to my point, like with England's summer as a whole and like the fandom, like it just strikes me as like one of the most embarrassing summers. For
discourse?
Yeah, for discourse. Like just some of the shit that the team is saying. Now, like I think
even Gideon's piled in like overnight.
The cricket that the English team has played, some of it has been great. Other parts has, as we've said, the shitness has outmatched the goodness because they're losing 2-1 going to the last game. But like the discourse around some of the fucking junk that the team's talking about, like
it would feel good to sing after a while if you'd had a couple of beers.
Well, it's first football culture, which is sort of to my point. Then you look at like what happened at Lords, which is like genuinely embarrassing. Like, genuinely embarrassing, like grown men hissing at other cricket players. Like that's
kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
All these things are good if they're done ironically.
And then like last night, like just a bloke on the field throwing fucking grapes at Ponting. Like what the fuck is going on?
See Ponting's crow's feet.
Oh, massively, yeah. He wanted to arc up, yeah. But mate, like
I'm glad Ponting raced it on the air.
Same, mate.
He knows what he's doing. He's good, Ponting.
Mate, you see it in football, like he is good.
He's good.
You see with football, like okay, it's a grape today. Next time might be a coin. Mark Coin. Like football fans have thrown coins on the field before at rival football teams. And it's just like it's getting to that territory. What the fuck? It's like football culture encroaching onto cricket, and it's fucking grim and embarrassing. IMO. Saying that, there's fucking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of great people in the UK and India as well, and all around the world. But it's just creeping into like some fucking crow's feet areas for me of like, what the fuck are you guys playing at? What's going on over there? Just some thoughts.
Jared, thank you, Jared, wrote in, watching TCG boys live while taking a crap. Is this how the 1% live?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how they do it. Kings and barons, that's how they do it.
Ethan Bray, thanks, Ethan. Do you think Piers showed Starkey's ball to Stokes yesterday to his cat? So did Piers show Starkey's ball to Stokes yesterday to his cat?
I'm not sure what the cat reference is.
Yeah, what happened with Pierce's cat? You're going to have to pay another $7.99 to tell us that.
Yeah. So how did you, as Wokes has come into bowl here to Kawaja?
Yeah, they've seen off Anderson.
Kawaja.
Kawaja.
Wokes the most threatening bowler throughout. Well, no, Wokes and Wood to be fair, but I just feel like with Wood, you just,
We had a little broadband issue there before.
did we,
A lot of people are it's saying taken off air. So I'm not seeing that here. I'm getting it.
okay,
A lot of people are BCCI. I've done yes here, boys.
perfect.
Just quickly as a little parenthesis, I'll give this to you, Zach Richardson. Thanks, Zach. Not your biggest contribution, I would have thought, but nevertheless, he's written. This is what it must be like on OnlyFans. He's written, "Can I have some bird noises? Thanks for your work." Guy living upstairs. Do you want the honours? What do you do for work, Dad? Oh, nothing. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's nice. A kookaburra and a gum tree. Hey, speaking of kookaburra and the gum tree,
What's the biggest bird that you'd wrestle?
Jabberoo.
I don't even know what a jabberoo is.
Not the NT way.
Okay, right.
I wouldn't wrestle it at all.
Mate, I'll tell you what'll fuck you up, a cassowary.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah,
Cassowary.
really good shout. That. You know, like
What about an emu? Would you
fuck
with
that. Fuck no. Are you serious?
No.
No fucking way.
I'm not wrestling with any big bird.
I'm wrestling with almost any bird. So
Would
I'm
you
not
have-
wrestling with a small bird?
Okay, what about this? Would you have a penguin as a pet?
Oh, fun you had it.
And by that I mean
Penguin-
Joel Wilson.
Adopt a penguin.
Would you want
Penguins are fucking awesome.
Would you want Maria Rasmus in the corner of your house? Just shitting.
I mean, what does that mean? We're talking about kookaburras.
Yeah, we are.
And it reminded me of, of Kookaburra sitting in the old gum tree, you know, the Australian ditty.
Do I what?
And a song that my first son was getting into when he was sort of like 1 or 2 years old was Home Among the Gum Trees.
Banger.
And John Williamson does a really like John Williamson-esque rendition of it that we used to listen to a lot. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I would fucking love to be able to play this song in front of my friends at 2 a.m. with a guitar and like really get the transitions right. I've been around the world a couple of times or maybe more.
Oh, that's fucking sick, man. Great
Yeah,
shout.
yeah.
Great shout.
Every foreign shore, but when my mates all ask me, you know, like just get the place that I adore.
Hey, so
No, just one last bit.
sorry, mate.
You know, we go, I tell them right away. What do we tell them? You know, just that sort of shit. You know, and everyone's like, oh, yeah. And it's like 2 a.m. Guys are coming down. Guys are peeking.
Yeah,
Fucking
man.
be good.
I'm into
Yeah.
that hard. I like that.
I don't know. Some people would just be having sex with women.
Not for me.
Okay, so
I
now
prefer-
Broad's
I
going to
prefer a lone hand.
Mate, what this is a very searching start from England. Like they've
They
thrown
bowl
up.
well. They bowl well.
This is, you know what? Like what we're watching is what cricket used to look like before Bazball. Like it's been Anderson and Wood at their best, or basically challenging in perfect areas.
Yep.
First up, Kawaja and Labuschagne, the Queensland guys have seen it through, and now you've got the dual issue of Chris Wokes and Stuart Broad basically hitting the seam and moving. And Broad's just going to be coming in, legs pumping, bowling leg cutters, overcast the oval, and Labuschagne is batting himself
Sure.
into a hole. They've plugged cover there, and they're asking Marnus, can you get yourself out of your batting hole where you're 5 or 47?
Can you narrow?
Broady's going to tempt him outside off stump with his outswinger.
I want to come back to like songs of kick-ons in a second, but
Yep.
like they just showed a stat on the screen, which said the leading wicket takers Starker's 19, leading wicket taker of the series now. Good, not bad, seeing as he didn't play the first game. Broad now 18, second leading wicket taker. So just like I just want to give props to Stark all the time because like he gets so much shit, and he's just been great. He's been really good for the last couple of years. Anyway, Yeah,
leg cutters,
but
leg cutters all outside
Broad looks
his-
like an energy here. Broad's
Yeah.
into Marnus here.
Yeah, and what's Marnus? So Marnus is 5 or 48. They'll be talking to him saying, in danger of a run, and Broad's going to hang it outside the off stump.
Yeah.
Leg cutters swing it away. Maybe the odd one will come in. What do you? And they've plugged cover there as well. So they're going to say
he'll scramble seam. One might try and hit the stumps here. Yeah.
And is Marnus going to literally outpatient him, wait for him to bowl one at him, and turn him for one, get off strike? How does this is some cricket? This is some cricket stuff I actually understand here. How does Marnus get off strike, if at all? Lights are already on at the oval, overcast. He's right at him. There's your runs.
And there's more bias.
That's impatient.
Bairstow misses again down the leg side. 4
That's leg
buys.
buys, isn't it? Leg buys or buys?
I think it's buys there.
Oh, it's going away from me there. Yeah, you can just see that. Yeah, that's actually just moved away.
You know, mate, like I was just like those 4 buys aren't going to cost a series, but like Folks is getting that, Carey's getting that, like a keeper's getting that. It's not that far down.
It is swinging away.
It is swinging away. It is swinging away. He's
unfit.
He's unfit. He's unfit.
And Joe Root just letting him know there as well.
Yeah,
Well, he's the greatest keeper to play the game.
that's true.
I love Bairstow. I'd rather him in the series than not. No one's argued he shouldn't be there. It's he shouldn't be keeping.
Yep.
How does once again? I think if Broad continues to have 5-6 balls at Marnus, Marnus is in trouble. That's
a
full,
half
and
volley.
that was a
It's
half volley, and they'll let him
And
know.
He's
as
just
well.
he's got himself stuck in a gear here.
Yeah. That needed to go. The next one's not going to be as full.
As you two said, he's stuck in a moment he can't get out of.
Yeah, that's true. They've predicted this. They were thinking this will be
You two's done it again.
a searching broad spell to Marnus Labuskakni. PB, where did it go? PB right in. Hang on, we're going to Alfie Cooper first. Thanks, Alfie. Can I have some slightly louder bird noises because I paid more? Hey, there you go. That's one.
I saw a great meme the other day I've seen before, but it came across my eyes again. Then it's like someone just decided that dinosaurs sounded that way, even though no one's ever heard a dinosaur.
That's good. That's good.
So someone's just decided they sound like.
Is that one of those scary, like smaller velociraptor types?
I'm not great with dinosaurs. I know. A
Oh,
pterodactyl.
really? A dinosaur's big in my house at the moment, and I was.
But like
big when I was
names
a
of
kid.
them?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
I know a T-Rex.
Yep.
I know a Velociraptor.
Yep.
I know.
What about your- what about your
I know
long
a Triceratops.
What about your? Yeah. You're in the sort of tier 1 dinosaurs.
Yeah,
gold tier.
Yeah, I'm in gold tier. Yeah,
Stegosaurus.
God level. I'm across the Stegosaurus.
And what about your long necked ones? You know, you
Less
getting into Brontosaurus,
Hey, Brontosaurus.
a
Okay, yeah.
Brachiosaurus.
Less so.
Okay, yeah. Brachiosaurus is probably a poor cousin of a Brontosaurus.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of god tier dino, yeah, but that's all tier 1. That's first grade.
Yeah, that's
That's
one.
professional dinosaur stuff.
Yeah.
What about your flying dinosaurs? You got
Again, less.
a pterodactyl.
I know
Is it-
pterodactyl,
Is it, you
yeah.
got that in the locker?
Yeah, but pterodactyl was like captain of ones, basically.
That's what I mean.
Sorry.
You didn't say it.
Sorry. T-Rex is captain of ones.
T-Rex is
T-Rex
Jordan.
That's Jordan.
He's Jordan. He's goat. He's goat.
He's the
dinosaur.
goat. He's the goat
He's the
dinosaur.
goat. Yeah. He's immortal. Who's knocking on?
That's such good. That's such good internet speak. Oh, T-Rex goat.
Oh, he's
Absolute goat, mate. He's goat. He's the goat.
God tier, isn't it? T-Rex. Kidding, aren't you?
It's like when like
Because your Triceratops and your Stegosaurus it would reportedly take on a T-Rex, albeit smaller.
Is that right?
Take them on, yeah.
Bit of reach. Let's Heather Knight.
Yeah, pterodactyl, king of the skies, vis-a-vis dinosaur era.
How big do you reckon we're talking there?
Oh, pterodactyl?
Yeah.
Yeah, megafauna. It's big, mate. It's big. It's bigger
Yeah.
than any bird that's knocking around now.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah.
believe-
Yeah. But
believe-
that's because like just isn't that because there was less oxygen? No, there was more oxygen. There was more oxygen in the atmosphere then, so therefore
better food.
things grow bigger. Things grow bigger. Things grew bigger.
My favorite, there's an ankylosaurus.
No,
So
idea
low
what
to
it
the
is.
ground, had a little club at the end of its tail. It has a club.
Really?
We'd be clubbing. Yeah. And that's how it fought. It actually had like a biologically, evolved club.
Okay.
Just tripping cunts. You know what I mean?
I
Going
mean, I
past
know.
trip.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about Australia just getting absolutely fucking bogged down here. That's the trucking treading water, you know.
What's the weather in the UK today? What's the weather in London, guys?
So I want to go back to songs at kick-ons.
Yep.
So last time I was in New York,
It's just cloudy today.
which was 18 months ago.
Getting cloudy.
My mates, who I made in New York, who's a friend of another friend, his name's Tom, and he's like great guitar player, really nice guy actually. He's from the UK.
Okay.
Great bloke. He's mates
That's on his pads and Kawaja gets off strike.
mates with my good mate Charlie, who's a fucking legend.
Okay.
So we're at Tom's place in Brooklyn, and we're like playing some tunes and stuff, good times, vibes high, energy good. And he's like, "Oh, do you guys mind if I just I want to play something?" Because we're at the stage of the night, it was like people like picking songs, picking a playlist, picking a song. So Tom like stops the music and he gets his acoustic guitar out, and he plays like this acoustic version, which is actually from Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you've seen Schitt's Creek.
I watched a couple of episodes.
I've
Everyone
never-
said it got really good, but I didn't make it to that
Yeah,
point.
so I've never seen it, but I understand it to be very good. Anyway, so there's a song, Tina Turner's Simply the Best, and there's an acoustic version on that show, and he plays this version, and it was so fucking sick. And it was actually like one of the highlights of that trip. Tom just in his front room, just playing.
Singing as well?
Singing, yep. And it was good.
Okay.
It was good.
It's a high bar to clear, isn't it? Like if someone goes like, "Oh,
I'm stopping the music. I'm stopping MGMT.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
MGMT, yeah.
And MDMA. Yeah, normally that's kind of like, oh, do you guys mind if I play a little Bob Marley and the Wailers? You know?
Yeah, so that song, Three Little Birds. So that was when I finished my last.
Please make this about women.
When I finished my last eightsome,
That song, Three Little Birds. You don't know what that was about.
they were all lying there, and I was like, "Don't worry about a thing, 'cause everything it's gonna be all right." Anyway.
We saw you cry on the telly.
No, when I finished my last law exam, I went to this cafe, and then that was playing, and now it's like every time I hear it, it takes me back to there. It's like,
yeah.
I have like an emotional
Oh, yeah, it's
connection
nice.
to that song. Yeah,
I had a uni song when I'd pass an exam. It was I'm Still Standing by Elton John.
that's a good
I'm
song.
still standing. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, that's. I saw the Whalers play.
Pads, runs.
That's right. You bowl too straight. That's one. That's good for
Patient
us.
cricket.
This is cricket I understand.
Yeah. It's boring, but yeah.
It's talk about fucking dinosaur era cricket. It's a disgrace. Go.
Wouldn't mind seeing a club, man. Sorry, you were saying you saw the Whalers.
I saw the Whalers.
That's
yeah,
sick.
Yeah,
At a festival, Blues and Roots.
Blues and Roots 2005 Whalers. It was
cool.
it was fucking sick.
That's cool,
It was
man.
really cool. Bob Marley dead, of course. PB writes in, how about a pitch toss for each game a month before the series? Winning team gets to pick what kind of pitch they want for each game. Legal doctoring. That's interesting. So now the Australian cricket team actually has a curating team adjacent to it. And if you win the toss a month out, that curating team gets to take over the ground like an artist in residence at the at the Oval and starts curating exactly what you want.
So England won the toss aheadingly, and they got an absolute Banksy.
Yeah. You're curating your best. Well, that's what happens in India already, I think.
So I like the idea of there being no toss, and then you just get to like make your own wicket. So like home
Make
series,
your own wicket, DIY.
yeah, home series, home team gets 3 tosses. Home team gets to decide 3 wickets. Visiting team gets 2, and you just make them whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be good for the. I reckon more people would come to the cricket if they knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 4 weeks ago they tossed at Royal Albert Hall, and England actually won that one. So they got to decide what wicket it is. What's a wicket? So this is a Wendy's.
I don't think we actually did what Alfie wanted us to do. We have neighbours upstairs. It's a disgrace.
Not anymore.
That's no good.
Not anymore.
Manav,
I'll be thinking, what the fuck
yeah,
is
what the
going
fuck's
on?
this? Yeah, Manav wrote in.
Yep.
Boys, why is Nisa not playing? Is he too sexy?
God.
I think he probably went close to getting selected in this test. I mean, the
last test.
long and the short answer of Nisa's selection is that he is he's just perennially the fourth in line, for a fast bowling job when there's 3 spots available. He's just 4th or 5th. they just deem the guys ahead of him to be just offering slightly more, and I don't think it goes any further than that. I don't think if there was some actual issue with Michael Neser as a player, as in there was some political issue or social issue, then they wouldn't include him in the squad. No, that's what I'm saying. But people are like, why don't they select him? It's just it is as simple as the selectors believe that the other bowlers offer fractionally more than Michael Neser as a package, probably as a bowler, and that his batting, while stronger than all of the other bowlers, I think is fair to say, is not so strong as to usurp the perceived superior quality of their bowling. That's it, and it's just happened to.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Going down. I think going down.
It's going down. But review it, guys. Please review it. Review it.
It's close.
No.
It's
because he's giving it 9 out. You're not having the whole ball hitting.
It's not hitting a whole ball. Yeah. Mate, I think with Neser, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think in these last 2 Test matches. Let's even narrow it down to this one. Just in this Test match, you got 1 Test to win. Who's your better bowler than? Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood. Look, he's not a better bowler than any of those 3 guys. If they're fit. Who's your better batter than? He's not a better batter than anyone. Who's your better all-rounder than? He's not a better all-rounder than Cam Green.
He's not a better batter than any of the batters, you mean? Oh, that's a fucking great
that's right.
ball.
And
he swung one in, the next one's away.
And he is not a better all-rounder. He's probably like Australia's 30th best batter. He's probably Australia's 5th best frontline bowler, and he's probably Australia's 3rd best all-rounder. There's nothing really else more than that. He's just
guys who are fit.
He is a terrific cricketer. He's terrific, but he's played 2 Test matches in his career. Both of those been pink ball, and there's a reason why he just hasn't played more Test matches. Just the guys that are available are just slightly better.
I think that he could have had some success if he got some luck to get a game. Oh, and he's out. Oh, he's dropped it.
Oh, is that falling short? Did that carry, do you reckon?
I think it's carried.
I think it's carried.
It's Duckett asleep. That looked an easy catch.
That looked like an easy catch. So
-7
Broad,
off 60.
So Broad's just bowled at the sort of thigh pad region. Marnus has played his part. He's just got a little inside edge to it.
He tried to tickle him. He's gone straight to the man.
And Ben Duckett was there at catching leg slip.
Yep.
Or just leg slip. And it looked like it carried based on the reaction of the players, Stokes and Broad especially.
Yep. And now we've gone to an ad. So
now we can't see shit.
Tom also went on to ask, home team makes the pitch, but away team chooses to bat or bowl. That was the Ricky Ponting suggestion, I think maybe a decade ago or so.
Okay.
The away team just gets to decide, so you can't doctor as much. So let's get a look at this.
We might have a look at this catch here now.
He's dropped the sitter there. I think he's asleep, Duckett.
Yeah. Now because they went to an ad break on Channel 9 here, they might have played the replay during our ad break. Because obviously Sky would have a continuous stream, I think that's right. We might have another look anyway.
3 slips, plenty of... This is tough batting.
This is really tough
batting for Australia. This is some old school Test cricket. Now we're going to
here we go now.
He's gone away and then hit the pad. Oh no, away. Away. Marnus sweating on him. Yeah,
that's a ball he can hit.
And then he goes away again. Bang. And then he goes back at Marnus. It's great bowling. Oh, we don't get to see the drop catch.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
They might not have had an angle for it.
Have you seen a lot of people criticising the camera work this Ashes series?
I have actually, yeah.
It's not my area, but...
I've got absolutely no idea how it works.
Yeah, it does strike me as being a little bit less quality.
No, okay. No, still haven't seen if that carried.
We're just going to look at
I'm going to presume that it carried based on Stokes' reaction and Broad. See, this is the interesting thing about, how England have played their cricket. I'm reticent to say Bazball because it's too simple a term, but England played their cricket by putting all the pressure back on the bowlers.
Yeah.
And at the moment, Australia is sitting ducks, not really going anywhere. And they're just allowing England to bowl at them, and
they're trying to get through it.
They're trying to get through it.
They're trying to sacrifice now for a better day later. Whereas England tries to create that better day. They try and force you into that, and they're happy to take a few. Happy to lose a few men in the meantime.
So Australia's batted for the best part of an hour, almost an hour this morning. So this will be maybe there'll be one more over after this before drinks, and
They'll be thinking miles in legs.
Australia's scored 20 runs, and it could so easily turn from 82 for 1 into 90 for 4.
Yeah. As England did yesterday.
Then 280 looks like a fucking good score.
I don't think Australia should be. No, you're not saying this, but I don't think Australia should be playing the way England plays because they haven't trained to do that. One's come in from AK. Thanks, AK. So Alex Volkanovski introduced the rest of the world to the bubbler, inverted commas, on the Flagrant podcast 2 years ago. So those who aren't aware, I mean, I don't even know that he did this, but the bubbler presumably refers to Todd Carney or just anyone drinking their own piss.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Urinating into your mouth, the bubbler. Any grade cricket stories on that? Do you watch UFC? Many great Aussie, New Zealand fighters in UFC now. I don't watch UFC. Never, it's not captured me. Nothing against those for whom it has captured. I used to enjoy like a big time boxing bout in the day, like a Kostya Zoo, if you will, and I know you will. Kostya Zoo Zab Judah. I watched that up at PJ's once. That was good in Drummoyne. But great cricketer stories to do with a bubbler.
I've actually never seen a fight that I've enjoyed. I've never gone to someone's
Even
house
like Tyson or something.
Never seen a fight that it was like, that was a great bout. Now, like, that's because I don't watch enough, but like the ones that I've seen, I remember like Green Mundine was over in like fucking 3 seconds. That was probably the last one that I saw, which I went to someone's house for. Someone bought pay-per-view, was a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just not my sport. It's not for me. My best mate is a big UFC guy. He loves it. And I watch it on, Instagram, fucking ESPN highlights and House of Highlights, that kind of shit. But it's just not my thing. I can appreciate the athleticism and the sport itself, but I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. Now, podcast wars, now that's something I can get into.
I went to the Central Coast with my mate to see Anthony Mundine's fight against Mark Bagheero.
Yeah, okay.
I just looked up Mark Bagheero. He's been jailed over sick act on teen. Mundine won that fight.
I'll tell you what's a fun game, and I want people at home to write in the comments what they get. I want people to write in your birth date and then type in Florida man and tell me what you get.
I've seen this.
Can you do yours?
Yeah, I actually did it.
Yeah, so did I.
Florida man, and then
no, so your date of birth, then Florida man.
So even the year?
Nah,
I thought it's not the year, is it? Yeah.
Nah. Okay, I got.
Okay,
mine.
yeah, Florida. Okay. Florida man accused of steering urine tests to drug lab.
Okay, I've got Florida man dubbed the diaper bandit, arrested after reportedly trying to ... So I'm the diaper bandit. So let us know in the comments when you type into Google your birthday, then Florida man.
Got any like bubbler stories and that from grade cricket or any? I mean, there's a lot of pissing at the bar and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and,
all I had was why is Mark written to his boys? The thing that I had was like, a lot of like urinating at the bar. So like they'd go up to the bar where there's drinks being served and pissing on that. Or I've said in the past, and I'm not glorifying this in any way, but the guy that I played with, his thing was he had a really big penis, and his thing was like he would get it out of his fly.
He had a really big penis. Such scientific like dispassion.
And his thing was where he'd get it out of his fly and like have his dick out and talk to women and then wait for them to see how long it would take for them to realize that it was out. That was the thing that he did. So that's in the disgusting piggery, bubbler genre. But apart from that, I've seen people piss in the fountain at King's Cross when King's Cross was a thing. That did not end well.
Hit it. Please
Hit it.
do that. Oh, that would have been awesome.
Got anything in that genre?
Yeah. Someone's written Green and Mundine went the distance. There was a few fights. There, real life. They didn't just have one.
Yes, true.
Now, where a naked, greased-up Florida man accused of breaking into 2 homes, jumping in pool. That's from Humble Frog. Presence Media says, Florida man nicknamed Baby Cakes caught naked in a chair outside apartment complex.
Like they're caught, like he's outside, he's not really caught.
Josh Urbacher writes in, sorry, Josh. I'm not going to lie, it's cocaine. Florida man tries to eat stolen debit card, deputies say. Jake Keane says, Florida man arrested accused of recording himself performing sex acts on dog. On his dog. Owner operator says Jan 4. Florida man arrested after hitting dad with slice of pizza. It's like slapping someone with a wet fish.
Yeah. And that's drinks. Australia survived the first hour. It's 82 for 1, 14 overs bowled, 21 runs scored.
Do you want a beer while I read a couple more headlines out? Have you got more?
One right here.
Yeah, okay. All right, so.
Do you want me to get you one?
That'd be good. I'll just while I got it here. Yeah. Thanks.
I said we're really playing it. Let me also produce this show.
It sounds like there's messages. I should just get that beer.
Here's a scorecard for the first innings.
Oh, that's nice. And you can have the lilting tones of me reading Florida headlines.
There's the bowling innings there. Yeah, you see your numbers.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, that's Australia's card. Yeah. Oh, isn't that nice? That's really nice. Marnus really digging in. Manning Corby says, a man was arrested Monday after police say he was caught driving around naked with an electronic device attached to his ... Daniel Bear says, Florida man steals pool noodles, claims it was to prevent him from, I think it's from raping women. Okay. I'll have a go this time. Yeah, thanks. Harry Fox says, I'm going to die tonight, a Florida man said before he had to fire his gun towards police. It's interesting syntax, yeah. Triple Chez Swan Fried Rice says, Florida man jumps off surfboard, lands on shark. And Hugh Quadruple 7 says, thank you for everything you guys do. People are picking up on that one.
Florida man says, thank you for everything you guys do.
Kay Stefanovic. Tyler Stiller wrote in and made a lovely contribution saying, Florida man arrested after falling asleep on sofa of home. Police say he burglarized. So, falling asleep on sofa of home, police say he burglarized. The real
Police say he burglarized 1 for 25 or 3.
That'd be good. Yeah, you burglarized that. The Real Bogan 23 writes in, thank you, The Real Bogan 23. Well, what's my handle going to be on YouTube? Oh, how about The Real Bogan 23? Flicking over to 9 Go and seeing Jim Carrey as Truman, emotional, watching his world collapse, relating as I desperately hope 3 random poles don't collapse 17,000 kilometers away. Never felt the touch of a woman. Yeah, that's good. Truman. Sun Tzu, fight fire with water. Yeah, that's Chris. And also, Monash Eskew, you think that was Sun Tzu? That was actually Chris Rogers. That was Chris Rogers' psychologist. Easy mistake to make. Oliver Watson says, Florida man steals dead woman's ashes, threatens to snort them.
What the fuck?
Oh, there's a lot of these.
Have you read Mark's text he just sent us?
No.
It's very funny.
Hang on, what's he done here?
I don't know if we should read it out, but it's very funny.
Oh my god, no, that's no good.
Okay, Pastor, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at vis-a-vis second hour of play? Australia almost passed the following scores. That's good. So
that's to be the least
England
number.
Will have to bat again.
They'll have try by 201. That'll be the least number of runs, the fewest number of runs in an hour's play of this Ashes, I'd imagine.
Yes.
So, and for me, that makes it a fascinating hour's play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But I wonder in the baseball,
fascinating category.
yeah, because it's it's an arm wrestle. It's which side will blink first.
Professional.
He has to try and score some runs, Jimenez, I think.
Professional arm wrestling. You've seen that stuff? Where they
Yeah,
grip.
I've seen it. Yeah, they got all the accoutrements.
Mate, I can't watch it anymore because I saw one video where
So it's going to be an injury?
Yeah.
Nah, man. I don't do injuries.
so like
For me?
so the guy he was like wrestling like this and like the whatever bones like in this part of the bicep or the
Yeah,
arm
nah, see you later.
snapped. And like so you can see that you can feel the tension and then and you can see it go. And it's like no
Nah,
interest.
man, all good.
Not
All
for me.
good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even just in sports events generally, if someone does a leg or an ankle and they like,
I can't do compound fractures.
I can't do it, mate. If I see it coming, someone's down on the ground and you've got a stretcher coming out or someone's being tended to by physios, and then they'll show you the action that led to that injury. Like I understand them doing it,
Yeah.
but like 999 times out of 1,000, it just results in everybody wincing at the like contortion of a body that shouldn't be contorting that way.
It's honestly a tough
I
wank.
can't
It's
do
a
it,
tough
like-
wank. Tough wank.
Yeah, just hang on. Yeah, slow down. Let me jelk it a little
The
bit.
first one that I remember in my lifetime, I think, in terms of a compound fracture on TV, was Eduardo playing against Birmingham. He was playing for Arsenal up front.
Yeah.
And the centre half just went right over the top of the ball, got him in the shin, leg
Yeah.
snapped. And I was like, that was the first time that I've been watching live sport, because it was on like 2 or 3 in the morning. I must have come home or something, or whatever, I was watching it. And they didn't show the injury because it was so bad. So like, and the comment, it might have been Martin Tyler, who was good at that stage of his career, was saying like, we're not going to show you the footage. It's
Too
bad.
grotesque.
Yeah, whatever the language was. Yeah, but there was
Horror injuries in soccer. Yeah, no good.
no good.
I don't know, man. He used to like that kind of stuff. Man breaks neck stuff on YouTube. Used to.
I mean, 2 girls, 1 cup is where I draw the line.
Yeah, okay.
Where it's good. I mean,
Kai Godwin says Florida man attempts to board plane with rocket-propelled grenade launcher. Just to intersperse the neck break stuff with a bit of levity.
hey, would you go in a helicopter?
I've been.
Yeah.
It was a bucket list. I've always wanted to go in a helicopter. For my last birthday, I was in Darwin and my wife organised a helicopter pub crawl. Like it was a tourist thing. Like she wasn't.
Yeah,
an
remember
independent
you
thing.
telling me this? Yeah. When you were in Darwin.
Five different pubs in like deeply remote places in the Northern Territory.
Yeah,
And it was sick. It was really good. Yeah, and I'd never been in a helicopter in my life, and it was pretty scary because there's a door open. But it was exhilarating. Yeah, especially sitting in the front and you could especially up there you could see crocs in the water and shit. But like
That's so fucking cool,
the
man.
landscape up in the NT
That's
is
so
just
cool.
unbelievable. There's TB.
There's TB.
Hey, TB. Hey, TB.
And
Simon
ramps.
Hughes.
And ramps.
There's ramps. Yeah, there's the boys. Yeah.
Some other bloke.
Yeah. There's a bloke who's got a thick jaw, so played county cricket at least, and there's a big old
explain what we're
piece
talking
on
about.
it.
We just saw Trevor Bayliss, Mark Rambrakash, and Simon Hughes all talking.
No,
Yeah.
Hey, TB, there's ramps.
There's ramps. Yeah, man. So like, my mum wasn't as cool as that, but like, I went in a helicopter for like, there's a thing. It's like a tourism thing. It was just in Sydney, and it was like, you go down all the northern beaches in a helicopter. So you go over the bridge, over the harbour bridge, which was sick because it was a beautiful clear day. So it's like, I mean, Sydney Harbour's like stunning anyway, but like nice clear day. So you start in the city somewhere. No, you start at Bankstown, the airport at Bankstown, and then you go through the city. Then you head north, and you head all out northern beaches, which is cool. But your one's way cooler than that. I wasn't doing pub crawl, wasn't seeing crocs in the water, seeing like fucking real Australia. But anyway, the reason I was asking because LJ like no interest in helicopters.
Oh yeah, phobia stuff.
Fucks him up. Yeah, phobia.
Yeah, no interest. Yeah,
no interest.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that in the sense like the windows open in the helicopter. I'm like, I could throw myself out here. I could really shake a few things up in like, like I could shake things up for a few people. I'd have that like Shake it up, you know? Shake up life for a few people. I'm brown bread.
I could really shake a few things up here. I'm bored.
I used to run over the Iron Cove Bridge. I was living with my dad. I was 16 or 17, and I used to love like coming home from school and going up to the park and kicking goals from the footy. You know, like goal kicking.
Yeah,
that was sort of it was actually quite like a meditative thing. I think looking back.
Yeah. Half volley. Australia finally
runs, and Australia will win the Ashes.
Yeah, is that going to go? Is that going to be?
Yeah,
3?
this is real cricket. Look, that doesn't even go.
Oh, it doesn't even go. Make Stokes run. Make him hurt
Make
his
him run.
knee.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart cricket.
I want to win by everyone being injured. That's how I play my cricket.
Yeah, I used to run over the Iron Cove Bridge with my footy, and there'd be a few times when I'd think about just tossing, like just passing the footy over the bridge into the water, and going, oh well. I'm sure some Tourette spectrum there.
An ex-girlfriend, like years ago, she used to say the same thing. She was like,
"Deaf bird."
No, not all of my previous partners had a disability.
You have sort of amassed quite a few though. We know others who have that proclivity too.
Yeah, some of the greats.
Yeah, some of the greats.
Just got bored and was just looking for it.
Pull one out. There's an app. Can anyone confirm? I think this is. Can anyone confirm who's watching?
Yeah.
Their knowledge of the existence of a
dating app.
A dating app for amputees.
Yeah. Can someone confirm that's true?
Yep.
Anyway, so this girl, she
no judgment either.
She used to say like I used to hate being in heights because I'd be scared that I would like throw my phone off the edge.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't relate to that.
Well, so I went to school in an office block in the city. So our playground was the roof.
Right.
So 8 floors in the city, and it was at like it was quite high up.
Yeah.
And we were caged in, obviously, but with like mesh netting at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went to school from year 3, so I was 8. I was young for my year, so I would have been 7, years old when I started.
Did you finish in 02?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And man, I used to like throw 5-cent coins through the mesh. If they hit someone, they would have done some serious damage. But I regret it. I was not. That it's something I'm ashamed. I'm just saying from an anthropological standpoint, that's what I did.
I understand.
But it's the same thing as like, I know it's not the same as like, I'm going to throw my phone off and whatever, but I just still sort of...
Do you remember the rumor that like if you dropped a 5-cent piece from the centre point tower, it would split someone's head open? Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but...
Yeah. I'd imagine it'd do some damage.
Yeah, it'd do something. Yeah. I remember for like... I don't know if you had. So I finished school in 04. Yeah. So for my like muck up day, which was like I think people have that. Maybe it might be universal. I think, but basically your last day of school in your final year of school, there are no classes, and you can basically go around and do whatever the fuck you want. And there was a whole bunch. I don't know how this like started, but but people used to like throw water balloons at cars, or they would, graffiti their uniforms, or
set the fire alarm off at school, kind of thing.
Just some
call
naughty,
in a bomb threat,
just some naughty trivial shit. So a couple of years before I finished school, which is when like they stopped doing muck up day, they dressed up. The guys in year 12 dressed up a mannequin in school uniform, and they.
I'm listening.
And they put a watermelon for the head.
Let's go.
And then
there's some sickos come up with this.
and then they went up to the top of the science building, which I think was 3 or 4 stories.
Oh, fucking hell.
And so, but the science building overlooked the year 12 area, where just only the year 12s went. And so they dressed up this mannequin school uniform, put a watermelon for their head, threw it out a window. Mate. And as it went out, they went, ah!
That's fucked. Man.
That's so fucked up. And then obviously once it hits the ground, there's a fucking watermelon just explodes.
Mate.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah. How do you kind of reconcile that stuff? It's just really like it's the impetuousness and naivety of youth, I suppose, and also just probably a lot of entitlement and kids who are fuckwits who are gonna get a kicking later in their life.
Yeah,
as I needed,
mate, me too.
Before I sort of actualized into this guy.
Yeah,
referencing the polls in 1939.
It's so relieving now being perfect. It's
really
relief.
Fully actualized and matured as a human.
Yeah.
Someone's written, "Nah, that's cooked." Yeah, it is. It's
that's what I'm saying.
It's an information exchange.
That's what I'm saying. It was so fucked up.
Also, Kit Kat Boy writes in and says England played baseball, whereas Australia is playing slow ball.
Oh fuck, that's good.
He's done in there.
And he knows he's doing Kit Kat Boy.
Yeah, Kit Kat Boy. Max Gillespie says the people that have the proclivity for amputees are called devotees.
Really?
So I thought a devotee was someone who's just devoted to something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But has anyone confirmed the existence of this app? The existence of this app?
Jack Windley says, yeah, the one for leg amputees is called Timber. That would be good if it was called that. That's very good. You want to write for us? Brad Graham says Stumpies, the #1 app for amputee cricketers. This is not what we were asking for. We're not.
Shot Uzi. Oh,
fuck me. That's what happens.
Fuck me.
And now he's going to get out. That's what happens if that was 3rd grade. The next one is being spooned to short cover in frustration.
Yeah.
Just a little sign, possibly, that England may be starting to tire and the deck flattening out, or just a fucking shit ball. Birds are always saying I'm missing a limb, so I'd be interested, says Jack Thomas.
Nice. Oh, has that hit the bat?
Yeah, it looked like did it hit it, or it was one of those ones that looked like,
it
looks like it hit the bat, but it swung after hitting.
That was a junk ball, to be fair.
Nick Horsey says, Florida man climbs atop playground equipment at Clearwater Park, tells kids where babies come from.
Bear so no chance of getting that. I think all of Australia's runs come from buys today. I've seen at least 3 sets of 4 buys. I presume there's one drop catch. Apart from that, there hasn't been none of the LBW shout or, beating the bat that much.
Dennis Kardakaris says, my mate on muck-up day came back to Kingsford Macca's with his car sprayed with shaving foam in a Greek flag. People just Greek patriots on muck-up day, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
TG says, app for amputees is called Stumble.
Right.
Very rude, isn't it?
Mm.
Just, yeah.
I wasn't looking for, I laughed at Timber because that seemed kind of clever, but now people are trying to improve the joke. But we're just trying to find out if that actually exists, if there's a dating app for people that are amputees.
Yes, because we've heard that there is one.
Yeah.
Owner-operator says, he goes, app for burn victims is called Singe. Good boy. I was testing you as to your reaction there.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Mm. Yay, I win.
YT Jim, maybe YouTube Jim, says, our muck-up day, someone bought a shark, filled up a trailer with water, put them in the playground with a sign, danger, no swimming.
Where do you buy a shark?
Yeah, who's owning a shark?
And putting it in a trailer, that's cruel. Like,
there should be some shit up near, like, sort of north of Perth or something, that kind of shit.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Everyone's got a shark there, you see.
That's fucking no man's land, isn't it?
Woody's back on for his 2nd spell.
Interesting.
Australia's added 30 so far. It's been a very slow morning of... it's not attritional yet. It's just England bowling tight lines and Australia trying to defend. That stayed low. So Australia not really getting the benefit of what you would say, a classical oval day 2 deck. Yeah, Marnus letting everybody know that stayed low because it did. So he's played that well. But this cuts to the question of how much do you let a bowling team get on top of you by playing defensive? Like, have England bowled so well as to kind of justify 30 runs in an hour, do you think, he goes? Maybe.
It's hard because I'm trying to find out what the dating app is called for, MBTs whilst also keeping an eye on the cricket.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think England have bowled okay, but I don't know if it's been so relentless. That's a good ball.
Bowling.
That's a really good ball.
Tell you what, there's a lot of swing after the bounce in England, like from the England.
I noticed in the Oval Test match especially. I noticed especially yesterday with Carey. Yeah. And again today.
He's getting that shape going. I don't know how you play that, really.
Hey, how have you been going? Do you want to talk business for a second?
Yep.
So how you been going with so we did our BBC piece this morning for them. How's the piece on it? And that involves us getting up at 3:00 in the morning, our time, to get that into them by deadline, and then we do our YouTube show, and then you sort of start your day. Like, I'm like, yeah, like ever since we came back from the UK, basically stayed on UK time, and it's like it's really fucked me. But I just want to know how you're doing, how you dealing with it, how you going last night.
Oh, well, I don't sleep. Like, I watch every ball, so there's that. So it's not really. I don't really have that. No, I sleep. Well, I think I'd alluded to this a few weeks ago. We threw everything we could at the UK when we went over there. All of my energy went into that. It was such a great trip, hugely grateful and privileged to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
What?
Sorry, I was just trying to change the fucking...
Change it with your feet.
Switch my feet. I'm lazy. Good producing.
And it was, it was an overwhelming success. So from a professional perspective, it was just great. We barely circuited, lifting the hood. Would you agree with that? We had one big night.
We had one big night, yeah.
We had one big night in Manchester with an old
circuit at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So even go out and say, there was no circuit. It was just, there was maybe a couple of beers after play. Oh, that's a great catch.
What a catch that is.
That's a fucking great catch from Root. That's an unbelievable catch.
And Marnus has faced 81 balls for his 9. And that's 100% Bairstow's catch, and Root has just absolutely plucked that. He's plucked it.
Why is Marnus unhappy
Marnus
with that?
saying it's too dark. Is Marnus saying it's dark?
He must be.
It's dark to be facing 150.
And
interesting.
That's interesting.
Marnus, it's a good ball.
Unlike Marnus to be petulant.
What a catch that is.
That's an unbelievable catch.
Straight in the mitt. Fuck it. That is a screamer.
Tell you what, Bairstow's happy he's taking that.
Bairstow's absolutely nowhere there.
Fuck, that's a good catch.
It's interesting, like when Marnus was walking off there and he just said to Joel Wilson, just like, mate, it's too fucking dark. Joel Wilson seemed to then walk towards...
the umpire.
Who's the other umpire?
Dharmasena, isn't it?
Is Dharmasena? Yeah, it is. It is Dharmasena, yeah.
The umpires won't take him off now, surely, will they? Because that'd got to prove Marnus's point, but...
yeah, Joe Root's also just taking the catch one-handed, so
he's seen it okay. That's a great catch. That is a classic slips catch.
Yeah, they're for the catch of the series.
Yeah, especially just with all the energy going the other way. I think a first slipper going with their left hand the other way. You had that one Smith dropped yesterday, but he's taken a few of them where he's kind of going with the angle of the ball, and he takes that really kind of acrobatic catch. But that's just that's feeling amazing in the mitts
at 150 as well. Yeah. That's humming. That is absolutely humming.
Yeah, you could hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great catch. I've got a lot of time for that catch. Johnny wasn't sort of quiet getting across there. Okay, so the whole Oval Day 2 thing is not really panning out for Australia in terms of helpful batting conditions. But then again, England have been unrelenting once again with their lines and their lengths and their ability to move the ball. And they really do make the most of it. This is
exactly what it is now. The crowd's involved.
Yep.
Guy bowling 150, big wicket, Smith at the crease. I got faith that this is going to probably be out. Fucking Yorker or something, hit the pads.
I did hear a stat the other day that Smith's average against bowlers bowling 90 mile an hour plus is sort of alarmingly low.
Is it?
And you saw the way that he that Wood knocked him over last game as well. Oh, it's a good catch. I got to watch a lot of
Caught
that.
it behind him as well.
Yeah.
That's a fucking screamer. Also, just noting how nowhere Bairstow is with that. Like, just
It's a great catch from Bairstow if he gets there, I reckon, to be fair. I think it's easy. That's an easy criticism, Bairstow. But it's just one of those ones that's right in the middle. But yeah, but Bairstow is actually nowhere. He's like he couldn't even move, yeah. It's one of those ones, isn't it? Like Joe, that's arguably the greatest catch Joe Root's ever taken, without even knowing off the top of my head all the great catches he's taken.
Yeah.
That's just going to immediately be in the conversation of the best catches he's ever taken in his entire cricket career.
And
yet, if that bursts through his hands, how many people are going like, gee, that's a bad miss from Bairstow and Root. Like, we're just so harsh, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like that ball is going 150.
Root's got more catches than anyone in English cricket history. I think it's like 160 something
Right.
catches. 180 something catches.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Anderson's on straight away. Is that for Smith? Is that a Smith thing?
I reckon they reckon it's moving.
Yeah. It is moving. It is moving. Yeah, I feel like Australia's had one day in this series where it's been sunny and they've been batting. And they fucked it up. And they fucked it up at Manchester, you know?
Yeah. Did get sent in.
He's a little bit too old to be acting like that.
Yeah.
I'm
You
the cricket
don't know
police.
what he's doing.
Wee-oo.
Yeah. I'm the cricket police. Wee-oo, wee-oo. Is the ball suddenly all good now? AGR78 says, boring Aussies. You want to sing it? Boring Aussies. Boring Aussies. I just want to see what it feels like to sing.
Australia's not going to have a lead of 120. They're not going to score 100, eh? I mean, that's just a pipe dream. I mean...
Martin writes in, he goes, it's MAR1IN,
Okay.
just on the topic of muck-up days.
Okay.
For a Year 12 muck-up, when I first went into Year 7, they filled all air conditioner units with catfish and eels, and the school stunk for a good 8 to 10 weeks. What a grim introduction to high school. Got one of those gags that, like, you don't even get to enjoy the fruits of your labour. You could only enjoy it through hearing people say that it stunk. You know, like,
The fruits of your labour.
that's right. You're labouring to get catfish and eels into the aircon system. Oh, this is going to stink for weeks, and then you go home and you're like, well, at least I know that it'll stink for some people.
I'm sorry to bring in like some fucking private school shit into this. I do apologise, but like that's just where I went to school, and
And you can't help that. You were born into it.
Oh, I pled for Daddy. No, Daddy, take me to the local high school. But we had a chapel at our school, and someone let off a fart bomb in chapel.
Oh, yeah, but they stank.
And it stank for, like, I don't know if it was like 8 to 10 weeks, like it's a fucking like a bad hamstring.
Every ball's a wicket now.
I know, yeah, every ball's an event.
Australia was looking good for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, 4 for 100 still on.
Now
Anyway,
every ball's a wicket.
yeah, so the fart bomb in the chapel fucking stank that bad boy off.
Yep.
I think, to be fair, it was a good 2 weeks.
Yep.
A good 2 weeks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, fuck off, mate. Anderson again into Kawaja. It's a half volley.
Did he?
This is out.
Did he sledge him?
No.
Sorry.
Anderson into Kawaja.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He's not into him.
I wasn't watching.
He is in to him.
What do you reckon Ricky Ponting's saying to guys who he's spotting throwing grapes at him once he's off air? I reckon it's
whatever he said to Duncan Fletcher that time after Gary Pratt ran him out.
Yeah.
Similar vibes. Mate, seriously, throwing a grape at someone like when they're working.
And if you're like to have access to a grape
At that stage
at
of
the
affairs.
cricket would suggest that you're in a corporate box that's serving grapes. Or
did you bring grapes to the game? Like
you
brought a picnic?
may. If you're bringing grapes to the game and putting yourself in a position where you're probably like you're so pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be alcohol involved.
flogged,
there.
yeah, they're flogged, yeah.
Flogged. I'm going to get the pre-organized grapes I've brought and not eaten yet at the end of the day to throw. I mean, I'm
bought
suggesting
some
it's
Chateau
like
Neuf de Pape. I bought some brie. I bought a handful of grapes.
I'd see a lot of people with that kind of gear at Lords.
Yeah. But then,
I had a mate,
like
I had a
those
mate
kind
bring
of people,
Coke into Lords a couple of years ago.
yeah. But then those kind of people that are bringing those accoutrements to the game, those accessories, those, snacks and whatnot to the game, to then like be that flogged at the end of the day, be like, "There's Ponting, going to throw some grapes at him." Mate, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like some like high end like private school shit.
Yes, it is definitely. Yep. Real tough. Fuck, I can see boat shoes being worn. You know, a pressed chino. Nothing wrong with a chino, but I'm just saying, like, it just all fits as part of a narrative, doesn't it? Of like, just an absolute fucking cunt.
And therefore, what we'll do is we'll extend that misdemeanor out to capture the character of the entire country.
That's right. It's not just Piers Morgan. It's only Piers Morgan, mate. It's only Piers Morgan.
Yeah, someone saying that to me in the comments.
Yeah.
Criticising some of the whinging was a straw man because only Piers Morgan's doing it. I'm like, oh. Now, there are, as you said, but it's true, there are thousands upon thousands of great people in England, some of the greatest people, some of the greatest friends.
Yep.
And I'll be the judge. I'll be the police. I'll police that. We all. Who's good? Who isn't? And it ain't just Piers.
I would have seen.
Now we're talking about brands of prickdom.
Yep.
Right? And let's have it straight. Australia's got its own brand.
Heaps of them.
We got our own brand.
Heaps of coats.
Deluxe.
Yeah.
And I'd say that I think we've been pretty fair in highlighting a lot of that over the years. I
Hope
think
so.
we've almost built a business off the back of it.
Almost.
Business ain't quite built yet.
Yeah.
And other countries have their own brand of coats as well. Mm-hmm. It's just that the spotlight is currently on England because the game's in England at the moment. And when it's out here, spotlight will be on that.
Big time.
The only problem is when it's like 4-zip, it's harder to sort of go, the crowd's really unfair, you know? The harder. The spotlight's going to be on guys being shit at cricket.
Less times where I feel like the Australian crowd truly embarrasses itself. No, that's not true.
I just think what's
that's
missing.
That's not true. I've been in stands where like I felt embarrassed by the people around me. I've definitely felt that experience. Yeah.
I'd like to think if someone, I mean, these guys are in a corporate box. If someone was throwing grapes at like Ricky Ponting or like Mike Atherton, I'd like to think it'd be like, mate,
yeah,
fucking stop that right now.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. But in our footy grounds, people, boo players who all seem to have the same colour skin. So,
well, that's coincidence.
We ain't great.
Yeah.
Grape.
We're
both there.
Mark Grape Batch.
What's eating Gilbert Grape? Now that was a good movie and still is. And for a kid of a certain age, it was funny too because I was still yet to mature.
The Grape Gatsby.
Interesting.
The Grape Depression.
Grape Depression. Okay, yeah. So Woody's bowling quick now as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And now Australia, so Australia says they 1 for 60. Now they're kind of surviving till lunch. Another 25 minutes, they've made 30 runs.
That's going
so
to
it's like
1.59.
So all of a sudden, it's the hardest batting of the series. Hey, this is part of the cricket where it's like England plays brighter cricket than Australia. Good condition, conditions aren't great, etc., but there is an element of kind of making that the case.
I've been thinking that like Australia in this series have been deliberately dour, to water to England's fire,
or some people say doer,
leaper. So, but this doesn't strike me as that deliberately slowing the game down. This strikes me as like I think they're stuck. I think Australia's a bit stuck.
Stuck, yeah.
Mitchell's stuck. So I can sort of, it goes against what my feelings were for the rest of the series. But I don't feel like the bowling's been. I mean, to be fair, it is moving around. It is moving around a fair bit. I will say that. And I don't think England have actually bowled that many dangerous deliveries, have they? I mean, nothing's really hit the pad. There's been one drop
I
catch.
think they've been at them.
Yeah.
Oh, see, there's stuff like that. I think they've been at them.
We wanted the single. Khawaja didn't want it. I see what they're saying.
Dark. He's saying it's dark. I don't like that from Marnus.
Nah,
I don't like it
shit-ass.
at all. It's
That's
fucking
shit-ass.
shit. Because he has tremendous form when it comes to like
petulance.
ultimate petulance
Yeah.
upon dismissals, not getting off the ground.
Send a shield cricket
Don't
as well.
rate it.
Steve Smith did the same thing. Real petulant stuff. It's grim. You're out. Walk off the field.
Yeah.
Don't start talking to the umpire saying, I'm telling you dark, because that's shit house.
Daniel Bear says, for my muck-up day, my school was on a farm. The morning of, we took a trailer down to the cattle shed and loaded on 3 cow calves, painted 1, 2, and 4 on them and let them loose on the school.
What the fuck?
People listening overseas going, what are these fucking schools?
Yeah.
Oh, every school's got a farm next to it.
Yeah, of course. Bold answer.
God.
Oh,
Runs.
Missfield, yes.
And actually,
Australia 3-1.
and actually a couple at that.
Oh, he'll never play for England. That sub fielder.
Oh, he's clobbered him.
If England followed the spirit of cricket, Mo and Ali would be out there right now. Boundary riding.
Thanks, Daniel. Am I missing something? It's highly likely. Loaded on 3 cow calves, painted 1, 2, and 4 on them. Does that mean when you find
you find
them, you're like, where's 3?
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. That's good. That's a psychotic
fucking
mind.
smart.
That's one of those. That's one of those ads on Instagram that says only psychopaths can solve this.
Yeah. How do you get the yellow line to hit the other yellow line without hitting going past the green one?
Yeah. And I actually do it. I'm like, you actually go around.
That's actually pretty easy.
No one said you had to stay inside the circle, and that's why I'm.
And that's why my wife left me. I don't like how often they're showing the stat on the screen that Steve Smith's average is 91.5 at the Oval, because that means he's going to nick off.
Is that through? No, it's not, because they've got to cover there.
A lot of half volleys.
Why don't you put yours on the boundary like we do? Then we get runs. Vivek Banerjee, he goes, says, talk about India versus West Indies one-day match, please. Wouldn't have thought so, Vivek.
Vivek, do you want us to talk about that series because not even you're watching it? I mean, there's just, it's so depressing. It's so depressing. And by that I mean soda pressing.
Now, we're not going to reveal who slid into our DMs last night.
What the fuck was that? Yeah.
Because we'd like our business to remain solvent.
We won't be saying which player slid into the DMs last night. I think having a go at us. I think.
Could be wrong. See, it could have been something else.
But we're not going to say who that was or where they're from. Because it doesn't matter where they're from or who that person was.
Or that they were defending Harmanpreet Kaur.
You might have a hint of where they're from now. And also, we're not joking. It's a real thing that happened. Yeah. Oh, what a catch.
Look what he does with his feet.
That is a fucking beauty.
That's as good as it gets for me, really. First slip at 1.
Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus, the golfer. Jack Nicholson, Diane Keaton.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, he doesn't like it.
There's demons in his pitch now. Day 2 of the Oval is demons.
What's happened with the Lionesses against Denmark?
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'll just write in Lionesses and then just go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
1-0 Lionesses.
Okay.
So Lauren James's 6th minute strike earns the Lionesses 3 valuable points in this World Cup. Yeah, it's a great catch. Great catch, great batch.
Mm-hmm. Mate, it's actually disconcerting how thin the walls are that we can hear the commentary of rugby league from our neighbour upstairs.
Yeah.
Like how I can give you a play-by-play what's happening in the Storm Eels game. But when we do like loud bird noises, he must be like, what the fuck is going on down there?
Totally.
Do they have some sort of actuary?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, those bird noises, that cannot be human.
Hey, Joe Roots, warm me up.
Okay.
Yeah,
A couple. The singles doth flow now.
Hey, I was watching the cricket last night, and so okay, a couple of things. I just want to talk about my partner. So LJ woke up this morning at 5 a.m. First thing she did was check the score in the cricket,
Fucking
and
hell, man.
she was like, visibly upset that she did that. Like she just did it by instinct. She's never done it before. Yeah, I know.
Okay, if you guys go all the way,
Yeah,
let's discuss this on air.
and by that you mean day 5.
The audience is growing. Yeah, because no, if you guys go all the way, do you anticipate? I mean, and I'd be happy to ask her this directly. So I don't think this is sort of out of school.
A cricket themed wedding. Where we all wear whites. Sorry.
Do you think if you guys go all the way?
Sure.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
You
Have
get
sex
married.
for the first time.
If you make it to fourth base and have sex in the course of it,
Yep.
you get married. Like, would you foresee? Do you think LJ is on a trajectory of like further immersing into cricket, or do you think part of her checking the score is like you guys are still in some phase of courting and
Honeymoon period.
Yeah, and she's like quite understandably like developing the bond. Because there's a number of things like my like wife and I, like she would show more interest in my interests.
Yep.
Before we got married.
Yeah. I think,
and then she locked that shit down and fucking nothing now.
I think that
Love you, Torzy.
because she said that when we watched cricket in the past, so we've been together for a year now. So the cricket we watched in the past has been like, might have been like Pakistan away, tough tour to get into. IPL, the summer out here, which was South Africa and West Indies, tough to get into.
You guys watch IPL together?
No. I'm just saying that what's on at home when I watch the cricket, right?
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
And so she said like, oh, I've actually enjoyed the Ashes. Now, like, whether that's true or not is really not for me to decide, but I think it does speak to some sort of interest in the Ashes itself, it being an interesting series because it's like us against England and, that kind of, we all have connections. Well, a lot of people have connections to the UK in Australia, like someone has family, friends, some sort of lineage to England. So that rivalry does exist. It is a pure rivalry.
Tori
so.
has an interest in Anglo-Australian relations.
Yes, right.
Having worked there especially.
So I don't know if she's doing that because I don't know if she's doing that.
I don't mean to be untoward as in like, oh, she's only doing it to make you like her so that one day you'll lock her down.
Yeah. Put
Disgrace.
a ring on it. And
Yeah,
by that I mean
put a ring on it.
A 6-3 field, bolt the stumps, ring it up.
Yeah, like I Tori and I went out to the cricket in, I reckon, 2000 and must have been the Monkeygate series. 08.
Yep.
The Boxing Day test prior to that game.
08 Shah.
Correct. And we went to the MCG. Her dad had members tickets.
Right.
And we watched maybe the first session in the stands and then went to the bar and drank all day. And
That's a nice day.
I guess. Yeah. No, I don't mean like I just wanted to watch the game. And I remember Ricky Ponting introduced Brad Hogg 3 overs before lunch to bowl to VVS Laxman who'd sort of made his way to 22 not out or something.
Yeah,
it was attritional
Fuck, that's hot.
MCG.
That's fucking hot.
Yeah, it was such good cricket.
Yeah.
And then we just drank all day, but it was like Tori's cricket's never captured her in any
Right,
way.
yeah.
And like, in fact, most sports don't really like. She'll get around maybe she'll get around like an Olympic swimming event because she could swim.
Yeah.
And her dad's side of the family are like heavily St Kilda Football Club fans.
Ah, okay.
And so I've been to a few games with her where all of a sudden she knows like half the team's names, and I never even knew that. 10 years ago, went to a semi-final, and Swans, Saints.
Yeah, right.
And all of a sudden she's talking about Cozzy and Milne and these guys. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Right. Oh, shot.
Okay.
Absolutely glorious by C. Smith. Down the ground of Jimmy Anderson. Full face of the bat. You know he averages 91.5 at the Oval. Australia brings their 100 up. 100 for 2.
Oh, God. There's some disgusting... Yeah. Oh, Muhammad Abbasi says, hey, guys, how do you rate this current Pakistan team? You want to keep talking about partners in cricket?
No.
How do you rate this current Pakistan team? It'll be a challenge for Aussies this summer, question mark.
Pakistan won't win a game in Australia. Let's be right about that.
That's not like hubris.
No.
That's another great shot.
Another great shot.
Okay.
Back-to-back boundaries down the ground. Off drive this time. Smith. Jimmy Anderson, number 37 now. Weird series for Anderson.
Few questions arising for Jimmy. I'm not writing him off champion.
Neither am I.
That was I'm talking to you. I'm calling you champion.
Yes. So Shaheen that's going to be cool to see Shaheen out in Australia. Mm-hmm. He won't swing it because they don't swing the ball. The Kookaburra, that is. Naseem Shah, yep, good bowling attack. So they have... Was Harris Ralph played Test cricket? Oh, he's in the squad. He's been in the squad. It's quick.
I'll tell you what I'm hot for, man.
The batters just won't be able to score runs here because
it's no good. Pakistan always comes out and you're like, oh, it's got some good players.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen out here for them. No reason to think any different. Unless a couple of Aussies surprisingly retire, like in terms of the batting. What I'm excited about is the like weapons grade organisation going into the World Cup in India, and in particular the way Pakistan is being treated by the BCCI,
right,
and how hot that World Cup game in India will be. And I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest it would be funny if Pakistan won that game.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
I don't think it's unreasonable, and I don't think many people may think it unreasonable. I think that has to be authentic for me because there are fewer clicks in Pakistan winning that game for TGC, like from a business perspective.
Yep.
Already saw in the greatest game of cricket I've ever seen. I've seen India win last ball. I just think Pakistan have been so dicked over by the BCCI vis-a-vis this World Cup. Just the cricket. I'm not getting into anything broader than that. I just think it's kind of like mother cricket. Mother cricket is going, that's a Pakistan W.
Yeah.
They've moved the venue, I think, for their group game.
Okay.
It's going to be at Chennai.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's been moved to... Someone will tell me. But anyway, I think everything has been made very difficult.
Yeah.
The entire tournament is arranged to maximise the opportunity for India to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Which I think in turn puts further pressure on India to win the tournament.
I don't know what it is. Something about it in my head just says like India won't do it. And I can't... I mean, the reason why is because they never do. But the last time they did, they did it at home, and like you just win a home World Cup, and then there'll be celebrations, and we're the greatest team ever, and like but part of me thinks that like, what if Pakistan won in India? Like, what happens then? That's good keeping. That's good keeping from Besto.
If Pakistan won the World Cup in India unbelievable scenes.
That's the end of international cricket, right there and then. That's it.
Should we do a poll?
See, it's like it's a precarious thing to joke about because so many people feel that, that's so deeply, and like it's obviously a heavily politically charged situation. There's reasons why there's angst between those two countries, It's not, yeah. But at the same time, like,
What if we did a live stream of India v Pakistan, and we also got Ram Guha on the show?
that was a nice shot from Quasha off the
Yeah,
wood,
soft hands.
who just opened the face and ran it down through sort of a fifth slip gully region. Runs flowing for Australia all of a sudden with, 5, 7, 8 minutes before.
8 minutes till stumps. Australia's made 47 runs
Mate, I got it
for the
mate,
loss of 1 wicket. 1 for 47 in the session. Whose session is it?
Australia, so I think it's moved around a fair bit.
If it's one down.
Yeah.
If there's a 5 in front of it, 5 in front of the number, and they've only lost 1 wicket, that's Australia's session.
Yeah. I think we've not spoken about or given enough airtime to Mark Wood before the last test match, one of the sessions before that. Sorry, start again.
Okay, we'll edit that out.
Before a day's play in the last test match, Mark Wood is on all fours in the dressing room saying, boys, there's a dog in here, then starts barking like a dog.
Yeah, it's awesome.
England deserved to win the Ashes on the back of that.
Yep.
That's fucking funny.
Yep.
It's rare as fuck and it's ridiculous. But like if someone in my team who was a good bloke did that, I reckon that's me done for the next 10 years.
It's amazing.
That'd be one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Mate.
Hey boys, it's dog.
I saw footage the other day of him during the COVID era doing the whole Barmy Army like Jerusalem thing by himself as they walked out to the ground, but no one was in the ground. It was him standing up there doing it and then clapping himself afterwards. They do. Yeah, it's funny with Woody, isn't it? Like I just don't. I struggle to imagine him adopting the same like ultra denialist positive rhetoric about his teammates and having to like hyperbolize everything.
Yeah.
Just his cricket speaks for itself. His attitude is pure baseball without all of the like unnecessary PR, strange deluded PR bullshit around it.
Yeah.
He couldn't see himself kind of doing that, but I'm just maybe trying to divide him from the team for my own purposes.
Just on that, I saw Harry Brooks' press conference yesterday, right? And after the day's play, we scored 85 and he batted well. And someone asked him, like, has this series been the most, like, draining physically and emotionally for you in your career? And he seemed like at absolute pains to acknowledge how grueling this Ashes have been.
Uh-huh.
And he said, like, well, IPL was pretty tough, to be fair. But, like, he was really reticent to say or to acknowledge that the series was tough.
Oh, he didn't want to say
He didn't want to.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And I was like, I thought that was like completely bizarre. And like, it fits into this narrative of like, everything's good all the time, no mistakes, no regrets, never look back, only moving forward, on towards the journey. It's like, that's just not how life is. Like, I understand like you wanting to treat the game of cricket as part of your life in a broader existential experience of like, what are we all doing? Let's just have fun at this thing that we enjoy and we're good at. But like the bullshit around like all the other stuff, like, you're allowed to be tired and like you're allowed for it to be like grueling and to have made mistakes in your life and in cricket. It's so fucking weird, man.
That's come back. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's so weird. This persistence with the mantra of like, I'm happy all the time. This is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. It's very interesting, isn't it?
I find it a lie.
Yeah. I'm still really like kind of cautious and circumspect about it because it occurs to me that like some of the shit that they're doing, which we've never seen before, obviously they've decided or concluded that it must be allied with some really extreme psychological perspective. You know, you can't, throughout the history of the game, the idea of coming in and hitting like a runnable 80 when you've just lost 3 for 10 it's not a winner takes all Ashes match, but it's just about would have been filled with so much pressure and so much crow's feet, so much negativity, like to the point of threatening your career, threatening, your very inclusion in social circles because of what that principle represented, representing principles of like, looseness and disrespect and carelessness and recklessness and all these kinds of things that like, in order to kind of transcend that, this England team has adopted an almost, a cultish fundamentalist positive mindset to the exclusion of what is true in front of them. So, but I'm a bit cautious about it because some of the cricket that they've played is stuff we've never seen before. So they're obviously, McCullum and Stokes are trying to elevate them to this place of like some divine psychological, like, so I don't know, like, you know, new place. But it obviously has as a corollary some delusion and denial about facts. Yeah. And I just wonder, like, I you know, it's given us so many like moments that we've never seen before that make you stop and go, wow, things can be done differently. But then it's also given us all this other shit that's like, you guys have made these mistakes because you can't be honest with yourself about what the fucking truth of the game is. Right. And I think it's a great advancement though, like in the sense that of like, oh, well, what if they do start to like
tailoring
it and tinker it and you know, and say, well, this works, that doesn't work. Like, we can be a bit more honest about these things. Like, we can actually go down gears when we need to. Then we can dial it up, and it gets better. Like, it's still a much more interesting advancement of the game, or progression. Maybe not advancement, but a progression of the game that is in line with the way the game's going. Bats, size of grounds, wickets, white ball cricket. That, like, you go, for me, on balance, I'm like, this is a really interesting development in cricket, and I think other countries should be looking at how to adopt versions of it, you know, like for me in the fair income department, which I like to reside in.
It's interesting.
So I'm a bit like, when they lie about stuff, I'm a bit like, this is fucked, and this basically offends every grade cricket sensibility of mine, and I don't think lying sucks, but I'm also like, what are you cunts doing? There's fucking something weird going on.
Well, at the same time, like, if they lose this game and now it's not England, it's not Australia winning, it's England losing it.
Of course.
Then it's like, you've lost the home Ashes 3-1.
Yep. It'd be very interesting in terms of how they react. I mean, they seem so
it won't change. They're not going to change.
Seduced and convinced of Bazball that they will continue. And I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, they've beaten every other team.
Home and away.
They were 1 from 17. They had the best mandate to try something different.
Yep.
And I also think that it does reflect. It's like all sports teams in the sense that, you know, I go to the example of, like, you know, Ferguson and Keane. You know, like, Keane was the embodiment of Ferguson on the field, and both of the, you know, that team was an embodiment of their collective personalities, and this team seems to me to be an embodiment of the force of personality of McCullum and Stokes as well. You know, Mike Brearley saying the way they play as a response to depression, you know, wanting to regain that childlike enjoyment of the game. Just trying to talk my way to lunch here.
This will be last over.
Yeah. I think it's ultimately fascinating, and I can say that magnanimously with Australia having not seeded the series now.
That's right.
Very, very cute development that I'm curious about. I mean, I'm interested in playing real cricket.
It is funny because at the same time, the Australian players have acknowledged up until this week that, like, they don't feel like they've played that well just yet.
I think they've been stopped from playing well.
I think Australia have played well enough.
Yeah.
I think they're valued for 2-1, to be honest.
Mate, you know, you got to be so careful. Not you, like, one needs to be so careful about agenda-driven narratives in like cricket or in sport. I think, like, I was talking to my dad the other day, pretty good observer of cricket, doesn't read a lot of media.
Yeah.
And he was at Lord's, he's watched a lot. And his view going into this game was that even if England wins the game and the series finishes 2-2, Australia has played very well to match a really good England side, 2-2 at home.
Yep.
And I think there's a really reasonable argument for that as well. Like, that if it ends up 2-2, you're like, that's a good result for Australia, knowing what we know about Australia and knowing what we know about England, especially playing England at home and this brand of cricket. Except that, can you imagine for 1 second that will be the narrative in Australia?
No, of course
2-2 will be seen as a failure, even though 2-2 is among the best results this century.
Yes.
If that's what happens. But it's like, sometimes you just have to think for yourself. I mean, I think that is kind of true, and which is my respect for the way England plays cricket. It's just that they fucked it up sometimes, and they're still developing that style of play. I think it'll get better, Bazball.
I just noticed the ball, that last ball of Wood bowled, quick ball on his hip. Kawaja just sort of just played it through between keeper and leg slip. And Stokes turned around and flicked his hat in the air. In the air.
In frustration.
Yeah, I've never seen Stokes as captain being so frustrated. Like that's interesting to me. It's one ball to go in the session. It's been Australia's session. They've now scored 55, 57. No, that's not right. 53 runs. 53 runs in the session, 153. I'm not sure how many overs have been bowled. 20 odd. No, it must be more than that, 25 odd. Last ball of the session, Kawaja 47.
Is that some sun starting to peek through in London as well?
Perfect, just for the lunch break
Last
as
ball
well.
on the pads. Kawaja gets away with it. England go up desperately. They waddle through for a single. That's Australia's session, guys.
It's Australia's session. Australia's session. And that is just about us for the live stream this evening on your Friday night. Let's have a quick look at the scorecard here as we go to lunch. Usman there, 151 seeds faced, 152 in fact, as that's not ticked over just yet. 47 red. Smith brought some more energy to the crease, and Marnus did 13 off 20. Really bizarre innings by Marnus, who just was absolutely treading water the entire innings.
Still not bad given those conditions. I mean, the 82 balls faced might be handy if it really flattens out session 2 and 3, and Australia's got 8 in the hutch.
And they've got Head Marsh to come.
Yeah.
And obviously Smith has got a
They
good
might
record.
appreciate that.
Indeed. Let's have a look at the bowling scorecard just here. And another weird one for Anderson. 15 overs bowled, none for 37. Broad was okay. 12 overs, none for 18. Wood, Wheels, 1 for 27, and then Woke steady as ever. And you suspect that Joe Root's going to have to bowl some overs after the lunch break, because there's some Moeen Ali's obviously not in the field, and there's going to be some work in the legs. Pez, I've enjoyed this under the live stream here. Of course, brought to you by Budgie Smuggler, budgiesmuggler.com. Use the code GOODAREAS if that's the sort of thing that you want to get behind. Budgie Smuggler have got behind TGC throughout these Ashes, and we're getting behind them. Use the code GOODAREAS for free shipping at budgiesmuggler.com. Pezza, what's happening the rest of your Friday?
I'm going home this evening. I'm going to figure out whether we're doing a video for the BBC at 4 a.m, which will in turn impact whether I try and get 1 or 2 hours sleep.
Right.
And then, I haven't even raised this with you, but then the family's going down the coast for the weekend.
Nice.
So,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
That'd be nice.
All right. Well, must be nice. All right. Well, have a great Friday night, afternoon, day, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you guys on the internet tomorrow at some stage, whenever that might be.